Another busy one. I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Couple Super Bowl jokes left over. Stephen Colbert talked about Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and said two legends of hardcore gangsta rap, or as the kids call them, Martha Stewart's friend and the headphones guy. Jimmy Kimmel said it was crypto and Peacock all day long. There were more ads for Peacock than there are living peacocks on the planet. Jimmy Kimmel reviewed the list of performers: Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and it was supposed to be Mary J. Blige, but Snoop Dogg smoked all the J's, so it was just Mary Blige. There's a headline in the New York Post: Snoop Dogg smokes weed right before star-studded Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah, no kidding. He smokes weed right before everything. Amy Schumer said, "I'm not sure who thought this was a good idea, but I'm hosting the Oscars along with Wanda, Sykes, and Regina Hall. I'm going home," because that's your news. Amy, you nailed it. I know you were joking, but I'm not. Amy's full tweet: "I'm not sure who thought this was a good idea, but I'm hosting the Oscars along with Wanda Sykes and Regina Hall." They'll host the 94th Oscars on March 27th. It's been 35 years, says the Hollywood Reporter, since three people hosted Hollywood's biggest night. Before the announcement, there had been speculation that they would go to a 3-act structure, which would showcase a different pair of MCs every hour. They threw that out. There was a list of talent being considered, including John Hamm, but they went with Schumer, Hall, and Sykes. Amy Schumer has received 12 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, winning in 2015 for Outstanding Variety Sketch Series for Inside Amy Schumer. Wanda Sykes has starred in several shows: The New Adventures of Old Christine, Blackish. I thought she was very funny in the other two. I'm less familiar with Regina Hall. Hollywood Reporter tells me she has appeared in the Scary Movie film series. Well, I don't like scary movies, so I haven't seen them. And in The Best Man, Little, and The Hate You Give. She also starred in Girls Trip. The presidents of the Academy said in a statement that they feel invigorated by producer Will Packer's vision for the show, starting with the host. The Money quote: "This year's show is all about uniting movie lovers. It's apropos that we've lined up three of the most dynamic, hilarious women with very different comedic styles. I know the fun Regina, Amy, and Wanda will be having will translate to our audience as well. Many surprises in store! ! Expect the unexpected! ! I mean, you can hear it in my voice. Okay. I mean, I don't really care who hosts the Oscars. It's just one of those things that, all right, comedians are hosting it, so I'll have to stay up late Sunday night to bang out the Monday morning episode. It's kind of a big deal for comedy news, but people have bigger problems than that. Am I going to tune in and be like, oh, Amy Schumer's hosting the Oscars? No. I don't know if anyone is. It's a weird pick. It's a weird pick. I got to say it. It's a weird pick, guys. It's a weird pick. I said it 4 times. There you go. I'm on the record. Piers Morgan, who's always one to mix it up, he asks the question: "Great to see 3 women hosting the Oscars, though I'd have preferred many more, at least 10, just so long as no ghastly men are involved." All right, we see where Piers is coming from, but here's the question I think is a good question. One question, though: will their every past utterance now be subjected to the same scrutiny that Kevin Hart endured? That is an interesting question. If we were to go through everything, say, Amy Schumer ever said, she had that podcast, she's got the things, I'm sure we can find something and get her canceled. I'm not saying we should get her canceled. I don't want her canceled. But is someone going to do that? Probably. Let's head on over to Gossip Corner. You know who was at the Super Bowl? John Mulaney and Olivia Munn. Yeah, they left the baby home. Who was watching the baby? Olivia Munn posted on her Instagram story, "We got out of the house. There was 0 traffic. The Rams won." In the photo was John Mulaney. You know who else was at the Super Bowl? Prince Harry. Yeah, Prince Harry. He ran into Cedric the Entertainer, which is what allows me to shoehorn this story into this podcast. At the Emmy Awards, Cedric the Entertainer had said during his part of the show, "As great as The Crown is, it pales in comparison to the real monarchy. Ooh, I mean that Oprah interview with Prince Harry and Meghan, that was the real tea right there, wasn't it? Meghan must put it on that boy, because he renounced his throne quicker than Eddie Murphy in Coming to America." But apparently Harry thought it was all in good fun. Cedric the Entertainer posted a picture of him to his 2.8 million Instagram followers. Wow. This, of course, for longtime listeners, know this is an opportunity for me to plug Palace Intrigue. That's the podcast on which I'm the writer, and we talk about Prince Harry probably in a 5-day week, probably 3.99 times. Some days we do Kate Middleton stuff, but Harry's just always in there. So if you like the royals and all the dirt and dish and gossip, and there's always something, believe me. Palace Intrigue, wherever you get your podcasts. Harry's favorite newspaper, the Daily Mail, takes us to Gossip Corner. Khloe Kardashian thanked her sister's boyfriend Pete Davidson for sending a thoughtful gift on Valentine's Day. Apparently, Pete Davidson sent Khloe a beautiful bouquet of pink and purple blooms. Now, much like yesterday, let me get the lilt out of my voice because this starts to get a lot more serious. An insider tells E! Kim Kardashian is trying to ignore Kanye's social media posts and pleas to get back together. She's really happy right now and is having a lot of fun. She likes where she's at in life and is loving this new chapter. An insider tells E! That the kids are the main focus. As long as the kids are safe and taken care of, that's all that matters to her. As for Pete, a second source says Davidson doesn't really spend time on social media. Yeah, we've heard in the past Pete does not have social media, so he's not totally aware of all the drama. I doubt that's true. I'm sure someone mentions this to him. The second insider told E! News, Pete doesn't want to get involved or be in the middle of Kim and Kanye. He supports Kim with whatever she needs, and they try not to focus on it. Now, even more serious, page 6 says Kim Kardashian has expressed concern that somebody might physically harm Pete Davidson. According to the page 6 story, Kanye West shared a purported text message from Kim Kardashian in a Monday Instagram post. The alleged text from Kim says, "You are creating a dangerous and scary environment and someone will hurt Pete and this will all be your fault." That's pretty scary. Not funny at all. I'm not goofing here. Kanye then captioned a social media post in all caps, "Upon my wife's request, please nobody do anything physical to Skeet. I'm going to handle this situation myself." You know, it's one of those stories. The fun parts of it are fun, but the serious parts of it are a little scary. Kevin Hart is going on a big tour. He said, "I'm hyped to go back on tour. There's nothing better than making people laugh. I can feel the energy in the venues like caffeine pumping through my veins. I've been cooking up something special and have thoughts I need to get off my chest." Now, I saw in the Orlando Sentinel, this is one of those annoying shows where you can't have your phone. Phone use will not be permitted in the performance space. Guests will be required to secure their devices in individual yonder pouches. Now, this is interesting. Attendees will keep hold of the pouches, which will be opened at the conclusion of the show. Devices can still be used in phone use areas within the venue. I don't know, man. Like, what are you worried about? Somebody holding up a cell phone video of 10 seconds of your act with crappy audio? Like, I don't get it. All this stuff gets out anyway. Dave Chappelle makes everybody lock their phones. The second Dave gets off stage, everybody reports what he said anyway. I mean, what are we doing? How I Met Your Father has been renewed. What did you think I was going to say? Yeah, Hulu picked it up. Listen to this. Season 1 was 10 episodes. Season 2, 20 episodes. This thing must be doing really well. 20 episodes in 2022 for a streamer? That's a massive pickup. I stopped watching around episode 4 or so. Do I have to go back in? Now, here's my review. I don't think Hilary Duff is that good. My wife disagrees. She thinks she's fantastic. Wife and I agree that fake Ted, the main guy, these characters have names, but they haven't registered with me. Fake Ted, the main guy, he's pretty cool. Fake Ted's friend that owns the bar, he's pretty cool. We dislike the British character because he doesn't seem like a person who exists in real life. We really, really, really don't like the adopted sister who's Asian, gay, and divorced, because that just seems like, what else could this character be? It doesn't feel like a real person. And then there's one more friend. The friend is the roommate of Hilary Duff's character, who probably has a name and is the center of the show. None of these characters' names have registered. That character is fine. So I think you've got 3 or 4 you could build off, but they might want to revisit some of the ensemble cast. But apparently Hulu and the rest of the world disagrees with Johnny Mac, because 20 episode pickup is huge. Meanwhile, in China, Friends has been picked up on a streaming platform. Several memorable sequences have been altered or cut, including an entire storyline about Ross's ex-wife being in a relationship with a woman. Local viewers are on social media using hashtag #FriendsCensored. However, if you were on the Chinese social media and you tried to look that up, it said, "This topic is not shown according to the relevant laws and regulations." Yikes. The Hollywood Reporter says while the sequence involving Ross's lesbian ex-wife was removed altogether, making its episode largely incomprehensible, other scenes involving mentions of sex or LGBTQ situations were tweaked via adjustments to the Chinese subtitles. In one show where the 6 principals are debating the advantages of men versus women, Ross mentions that women can have multiple orgasms. In the new Chinese version, the audio was left uncut, but the subtitles read, "Women have endless gossip." That should be a new catchphrase. Women have endless gossip. I got to figure out what to do with that. Hey, babe, want some gossip? I don't know. Some Weibo users poked fun at the assumption that no one in China knows the English word for orgasm, while another... By the way, did we just give a whole new meaning to Gossip Corner? It's not what I mean. Gossip Corner is just gossip. Don't get too excited, everybody. One post received 80,000 likes. That post said, not only does it ignore women's sexual desire and enjoyment, but it also reinforces the gender stereotype of women. In other snippets of dialogue, the word lesbian was replaced with the Chinese word for ex-wife. The phrase, I have a penis, was translated as, I have different organs than a woman. You know, this reminds me when I was driving to the donuts chain this morning, listening back to yesterday's show. And I mentioned this last week. I really thought when I started this thing, it would be like, hey, Kevin Hart's going on tour. Cool. And Hannibal Buress said this. And I'm listening to the topics and we're talking about mental health. We're talking about this China thing with the censorship. You would think daily comedy news would be boring, but there's always something to talk about. All right, it's Wednesday, which means it's trivia night. Glenn and I will be heading to the local brewery to play trivia. So if you'd like to support the show, here is a great opportunity. You can now buy Glenn a full beer. In the past, you'd have to buy him 5/7 of a beer because on the page, buymeacoffee.com/daily comedy news, the idiot that set up the page, me, only allowed you to donate in $5 increments. But there's a new option. It is called Buy Glenn a Beer. You can donate $7. I will take your $7. I'll go to the brewery. I'll say hi to the trivia guys, and I will buy Glenn a full $7 beer. How about that? I actually think the beers might be $7.50. I don't know. The bill comes. I give them my credit card. I don't even know how much the beer costs, but you can buy Glenn a beer, or at least $7 worth of a beer. I'll pay for the rest this week. Don't worry about it. At buymeacoffee.com/daily comedy news. Also, to support the show, if you want to get one of these Donuts Chain t-shirts, National Donuts Chain t-shirts, I saw somebody bought one. Now, I've been shouting out everybody who's bought a National Donuts Chain t-shirt, but I didn't get a notification and I went on the website. So whoever you are, fifth person, thank you. I wish I could say your name. I don't have the information. But hey, we got to get moving on these things. Either go to buymeacoffee.com/daily comedy news or tinyurl.com/donuts-chain. And there you can buy a t-shirt. The t-shirt's $20 plus shipping. I will get $5 with that. Plus, we'll all have cool t-shirts. Now, the trivia guys, if you want to play along at home, these guys are at Best Men Trivia. Now, don't tell the other people in the brewery, but Best Men Trivia, they post hints on their social media every week. So here's one of the hints if you want to play along. Trivia guys posted, an estimated 40% of white cats with blue eyes are deaf, which is high. Still, if 40% of these cats are deaf, it means the majority, 60%, can hear. And that's all they did. So here's what happens in real life. I do screen grabs of these things, and I send them to Glenn and whichever others of our crew decide to show up. And I drill these people. I will be at like 6:30 tonight. I will be holding my phone up to Glenn's nose, and I'll be like, remember this. And I'll just like drill in his head. I'll be like, cats, deaf, blue eyes, cats, deaf, blue eyes. And we'll try and remember these answers so we get 3 points. Because last week we finished 11th, which is pretty embarrassing. Vulture caught up with Dana Gould. He does that Hanging with Dr. Z show I like, where he pretends to be Dr. Zaius. You know, he pretends to be Dr. Zaius. It's not like it's the actual Dr. Zaius. What am I even trying to say? He talked about the origin of the show. And he said at one point, Turner Classic Movies asked if he would help introduce Planet of the Apes, which was being screened in theaters. That's pretty cool. He said that's where the Dr. Z character developed as a show business-like figure, and I really like this. He said, like when you watch Orson Welles on Merv Griffin, and he's like, I was at Suzanne Pleshette's, and Alan Alda came by. I love that, and that's where the character came from. That's such a good inspiration. Where did the web series originate? My writing partner, Rob Cohen, and I go back to the Ben Stiller show. During the pandemic, we were going to do a short movie, which would have been a day in the life of Dr. Zaius shuffling around his Hollywood mansion. But then he had this idea to do a talk show with a green screen because of the pandemic, guests that would be on a monitor like Space Ghost. We figured this will cost us a lot of money and put us at risk of being sued by Disney. This is perfect. The two things we had going for us is parody law, and we're not making money. They only get annoyed if you start to make money. You know, people are starting to write about this show, Dana Gould. I'm waiting for the shutdown. Eddie Izzard has joined the cast of the Disney Plus heist series Culprits. The series follows the aftermath of a heist with each member of the crew individually targeted by a killer after they've gone their separate ways. That sounds like a good time. From Wales Online, your home for comedy news, they ask, what the heck, Sarah Silverman? We showcased to you our beautiful fairy tale surroundings, showed you sheep that you loved, taught you how to swear in Welsh, gave you a hot and talented actor boyfriend, and you turn around and you take the mick out of the best flag in the world. Apparently, on her podcast, Sarah Silverman said, I don't know if you've ever seen the Welsh flag, but it makes me laugh so hard. It honestly looks like a drawing that a 12-year-old boy drew on the cover of his Mead notebook. So the Welsh are very upset. And from self.com, congratulations to Kathy Griffin. She is recovering. Remember, she had lung cancer. Well, she posted on Instagram, 6-month lung cancer scan is clean. No more cancer. And yes, I'm skinny dipping in a pool while shaking my boobs and butt. So what? So if you want to see Kathy Griffin naked in her pool, it's on her Instagram. And that is your comedy news for today. Follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, wherever you get your shows. BuyMeACoffee.com/Daily Comedy News. Let's get moving on to t-shirts, people. Trivia night. See you tomorrow.